ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
First, I would like to say we really do live in a blessed country. Everybody who lives in the UAE can consider themselves very, very lucky compared to other places in the world. And in the context, I really would love to thank Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed and Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid and all the other rulers of UAE to give us the opportunity to live here and make a good living. Thank you so much. So my advice would be follow your dreams. Follow your dreams, don't ever give up, and don't care about what other people say. For example, if you wanted to do one thing because this is your thing that you always wanted to do, most likely you also have the talent there. So it always goes hand in hand because it comes from inside. It's your soul's mission. It's from the heart. Anything that comes from the heart, this is what you will do, and you follow your dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite program, Peers of Union, which invites the most successful here in the UAE. Today, from Dubai with Miss YASMINE S. Welcome, Miss.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's really an honor and such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We are so pleased to have you today.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Miss, from the beginning, we need more details about you to present you for everyone.
Okay, so I'm from Germany. I'm a German national. And I was educated in the classical performing arts and ballet, classical ballet. And I came to UAE actually then as a fitness professional and ballet dancer. And later I got married here in UAE. I love UAE so much, by the way. So I got married here in UAE and I stopped my former career in the performing arts. And since from childhood on, my biggest hobby was psychology. I always was interested in how the mind works, how you can make a better life. My mission always in life was to make people happy and to make the world a better place. So everything fit into place. Unfortunately, as a child, I had to choose between either I go into performing arts or I go into psychology. So the performing arts at that time was my passion. So I said, okay, I leave the psychology for a later time. This is how I came to hypnotherapy. 2014, I think it was, I was introduced to hypnotherapy through my best friend. She actually told me that hypnotherapy for her was life-changing. She herself had sessions and she later then did the course and she convinced me to do the course with her. She didn't continue, but I continued actually. So 2016, I did my first certificate in clinical hypnotherapy with the most amazing teacher that I had, originally from Manchester. She's unfortunately not living in the UAE anymore, but it was absolutely life-changing for me. And since the time I started.
Yes, great, Miss. So, Miss, you choose the UAE for work, for family, for life. Why do you choose exactly the UAE?
I came to UAE actually by accident. I was discovered as a dancer and got invited to have a contract here in UAE that happened in Germany. It took me by surprise. When first moment I set foot on this earth, I was in love. I'm so much in love with UAE. And then I got stuck here, I got married, and that's it.
Yes.
And still here.
Yes, so Miss, today you have your own name, you have a successful story, but it's not easy to make your successful story. So let's talk more about the challenges that you have faced during your journey and how you have overcome such challenges.
Yes, when I started 2016, I was absolutely intrigued and absolutely addicted, because the mind and how the mind influences the body, and how the mind can influence the immune system, and why people are reacting or talking as they do, why people face challenges in work, why people face challenges in relationship, in marriages. It was always extremely fascinating. So when I started doing my first certificate, and then all my certificates after that, it was like one after the other, after the other. I got so addicted to it, I couldn't stop. The challenges was in the beginning is that with hypnosis, with hypnotherapy, people see it as a last resort. So they suffer. They do psychology, maybe. They have to be very much pushed to the edge to even say, I need to see a therapist. So first they go to the medical field. The medical field is amazing. I totally appreciate that, but everything has its own place. So certain therapy approaches that they have are different from the therapy approaches that we have as a hypnotherapist. And so they come to us for a last resort. For example, people with phobias, they might have a phobia all their life. They get used to it. They get used to getting very upset, for example, to see a cockroach on the street. Yeah. They don't calm down for 3 hours, which happened to me, by the way. But yeah, so after some time, when they say, I can't help myself at all, they come to us. So this is, for me as a therapist and all my colleagues, the biggest challenge, to be honest. Once they come to us, they're still skeptical. Can this really help me? Because nothing can help me. I don't know what to do with my life. I always face the same challenges. I always face the same relationship challenge. I always face the same, my marriage failed. Now I have the same problem in my second marriage. And because it's stuck in the subconscious. So this is the biggest challenge. Once they come, it's actually so easy once they do the first session. The second challenge there actually is they need to be willing to change. Exactly. So once they are convinced hypnosis can change my life, they come to us, and then are they ready to change? Some people, they love to suffer. Why? Because the subconscious mind, you need to understand, the subconscious mind is a mind of a 7-year-old child. When we are reacting in normal day-to-day life, it is about, some say 94%, is only from the subconscious mind. So if I meet you, I like you, I don't like you, I can't even tell, why do I like this lady, why I don't like her. I can't tell, because it happens in I think it's 3 to 4 seconds. Yeah. We already decided we like this person, we don't like this person. We like this idea, we don't like this idea. Why are we reacting like that? Is this the subconscious mind? So sometimes the subconscious mind, because the programming, I think I need to start from beginning. When you are, the mind has the subconscious mind is like a 7-year-old child. More or less. This is what science says. Yeah, this is scientific background. A child until 7 years of age is like a blank laptop. It's blank. There is no app in it. There is no program in it. There's no Safari, no Windows, no nothing. Anything that gets fed into the child from the parents, from the nannies, from the family, from the nursery, from school, from preschool, anything. This is good, this is not good. Okay, programmed. Anything that, even misunderstandings get programmed. How the child perceives the reality. Nothing gets filtered. So everything is stuck there. So you have the subconscious mind and all the programming is in it. And then later on, traumatic things can happen, like accident. You have a trauma, you have a phobia because now you don't like to drive over a bridge because you had an accident on the bridge. Yes, everything gets filtered inside. Sometimes for the second challenge is that there are blockages. Everything is familiar. So it is familiar that, for example, if I have an issue, I face the same issue. Okay, I don't know how is it on the other side. My marriage fails because of this and this and this, but this is known. It's comfortable, it's familiar. We are creatures of habit. So once we realize there is something that can change our life for the better, do we really want to change? This, we know this, we don't know what is on the other side. We get scared, maybe then we will leave the marriage, or we will, what will happen if I'm not afraid of cockroach? I don't have the secondary, we call it secondary gain of being afraid of places where there might be a cockroach. Maybe I'm gaining something out of that. That all of this is stuck in the subconscious mind. So the person really has to want to change. Then the third challenge is they need to trust us. Because of all that image of hypnotherapy or hypnosis outside, through, in TV, in movies, it's considered woo-woo. It's not woo-woo, it's not magic, it's psychology basically. It's super easy psychology. But people say, oh, I saw a movie, and in this movie, this person picked up the street phone and the guy on the other line said, now you go inside the bank and you rob the bank. Yes. And then they think, oh, you can control me. No, we cannot control the person. But the people need to understand that in the subconscious mind, there is something, we call it the protector. The protector is the code of ethics that the client, or me or you, everybody in the world has grown up with. That means the code of ethics that religion teaches us, society teaches us, don't steal, don't rob a bank, don't murder, don't harm. There is a code of ethics. And the person, when the person goes and comes to me and says, I want you to hypnotize me because I need better performance in my work, I'm afraid in school, I have exam phobia, I'm afraid for the exam, or I feel like I fail all in my life, I feel like a loser, I want to be a winner, I want to be successful, or I'm poor, I want to make money, I have the poor mindset, whatever. They need to trust us, and they need to understand that if they go into hypnosis, first of all, they're always completely aware of everything that goes around them. They're not unconscious. There's not like anesthesia where you go sleep, you have no control over what the doctor does. It's not like that. You have control over it, yes? But you need to understand that if I want to make you rob a bank, I can only influence you if you really wanted to rob a bank. If this is your wish, if you really want to do that, I might be able to influence you, but you still can decide, no, it's not the time to rob a bank. So basically, it doesn't work. I can only do, as a hypnotherapist, as much as, let's say if you're the client, as much as you allow me to. Yes. If you don't allow me, I can talk, do whatever technique I want to do. I cannot even bring you in trance because you have free will.
Yes.
So that's a third challenge. And
yes,
that's it.
And who supported you, who inspired you and encouraged you to overcome such challenges or to have this successful story?
Okay, so first of all, underneath all of these mental health professions, if it's medical, if it's wellness, because I belong to the wellness group, there is always a wish to make the world a better place, or to help people. There's always normally some trauma inside of us, some challenges that we face, that we see, oh, the world is not really like a baby pink or, multicolored, faceted. Not everything is beautiful. We are facing our own challenges. And because of this desire to do self-development, that also happened to me. That's why I got interested in psychology. And this is how I found my supporters, because I had the desire to make the world a better place, because out of my own personal history that I had. And then, as I said, I had my best friend at that time. She told me so much about it, and I believed her, trusted her, and I said, oh, I see you changed your way, your behaviors, you're a different person. It's working. And then I did my own research. I met my husband. He was always supporting me. He never said, no, don't do that. He always said, if this makes you happy, do it. These were my two biggest supporters. Of course, my mom. No, actually, my mom is my biggest supporter because my mom was always saying, "You want to do this? Do it. I'll help you." Always. My mom, she is fantastic.
My God protect her.
Yes, thank you, inshallah. Anyway, so yeah, so my mom, my best friend, and my husband. And then, of course, the teacher that I had the best teacher ever. This lady is, since then, I think she's retired. She does online, but she's living outside the country now. But I had, because of this, I was so blessed. I had the chance to learn from the best. I would say she was the best in UAE. And she is one of the best all over the world. She has won the highest award with National Guild of Hypnotists in US, which is the biggest watch body internationally now for us hypnotherapists. And because of this, luckily, for her support, because she encouraged me, or she encouraged all of her students, but I think I had a special place in her heart, and maybe I had a talent. I don't know. I don't know, I can't say that about myself. But yeah, for me, it's very easy to do it. You need to have a feeling for people. And the feeling I got through my performance work, because we are very sensitive people. So we get the vibes. So when you get the vibes, you know what you have to say, what you don't have to say. Some people need more love, more friendliness, other are more analytical. Some need more... we call it maternal way of how you talk to the person, how you guide the person into hypnosis. Some, they need more the paternal way, which is a more analytical, more, not commanding, but kind of commanding way. So I had this feeling, so maybe because of this. But yeah, so she was also a very big supporter. And because of her, I'm US, UK certified.
Yes, Miss.
Yeah,
Miss, now let's talk more about the concept of mental health.
Yes, the concept of mental health. The problem is everything comes from the mind. So if we want to have a happy life, we need a healthy mind. Because the mind and the childhood programming and all the other programming rules our world. Because, as I said before, I think it was 94%, but you know, numbers, they change because depends how they do the polls, where they do the studies, you know, so it's always ever increasing, this number, or decreasing, but it's always around 94%. So if you have a healthy mind, the world is your oyster, the world is open to you. You collect the pearls, you get the money, you get the job, you get the husband, you get the wife, you have the happy friendships. And nothing bad will happen to you because your mindset is focused and positive. But if you have some stuck trauma because of the childhood programming, then, well, we can just say unhealthy is a relative term, you know, healthy is also a relative term. But let me put it like this, you have an unhealthy mind. Same like you might have an eczema here. You still have a healthy body, but you have an eczema. So you have a trauma stuck somewhere in your subconscious mind, which hinders you to have the career that you want, or the private life that you want, you know, or the money that you want. You know, so all depends how healthy is the mind.
Exactly, Miss. So, Miss, now let's talk more about the concept hypnosis.
Okay, the concept of hypnosis. What would you like to know first about it? You would like to know what does it help for, or you would like to know the process?
The process. The
process of hypnosis. So let's take a phobia, okay? Let's say, I mean, there are myriads of phobias. There are spiders, cockroaches. Some people, they are afraid to leave the house, for example. This is how we do online coaching. Online is amazing, yeah. But anyway, so let's say you have a phobia. You find me on my website, or most of my how I got well known is from word to mouth. This is most of it. People say, oh, you have a problem? Oh, I know somebody. She helped me. It's like this. So you come to me, you get a consultation first. And the consultation, I found out what is your issue, what is your problem. You will tell me a little bit. With my formats that I use, because I have different formats that I can use. The clinical hypnosis, I will need to know quite a lot about you. For example, you need to tell me, I have a phobia of cockroach. Yes, but with some more sensitive subjects, it might be a little bit difficult for people to talk. For example, if I have ladies coming, things happen you don't want to talk about. Things happen that are also inside families. I don't want to go into detail. That are really destructive for the female mind, even sometimes for the male mind. Things that are a taboo, especially in our culture here in the Arabic world. In the modern world, the Western world, it's easier for them to talk about things like that. But here we consider it as a taboo. And if I have, for example, I have a Arabic lady coming to me, she will not want to tell me what happened to her in certain circumstances, or as a child, or still what's happening to her from, let's say, her uncle or her cousin or whatever. There are things that are really horrible. And for this, I have a very good hypnotherapy technique. I don't need to know. So if a lady like this or a man like this comes to me and says, I'd rather not talk about it, I say, I can work blind. You have an issue, right? So you want to heal this issue. You want to overcome the challenges that this issue poses for you. No problem. All I need for you is the willingness to work, and that you follow my instructions and you give me your trust. And that's it.
Yes. Miss, now let's talk more how you can help the others, the people who have mental health problems such as depression or anxiety.
Okay, so depression or anxiety or fears. Anxiety is fears. This is a very big width of issues. For me, because first of all, I'm not a doctor and I am not in the medical field. So I do not prescribe anything, even if it's for weight loss. Also, I do not prescribe nutrition. I'm not licensed for that, and I don't need to do this. And also, I don't need to diagnose in order to help the person heal, because you never know what's inside. You never know where the anxiety comes from. You never know where the depression comes from. You never know where fear of performance comes from. It might come from something completely different that you think. And then I would lead the person. So for me, any depression, any anxiety, any unexplained infertility, for example.
Yes.
Anything that is stuck in the mind, we can work with. But we do not do the medical part. So for example, if somebody comes and tells me, oh, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, I am taking these and these pills, I don't take this person on, not because of the schizophrenia, because of the chemical inside the body. So for this, I would say, go talk to your psychiatrist. Ask your psychiatrist that you want to come to me, you want to do this and that. And when I have a signed paper that this is fine with me, then I can work with you. So this is for me the only thing where I say, no, sorry, I cannot work with that. The same like pain control. Pain control we don't do, only for 3 days. So if somebody has pain, we say, okay, we can give you pain control through your own suggestions, through the subconscious mind for 3 days, but not longer, because you need to go see a medical doctor. This is the same thing for infertility, for example. If they want to do IVF, hypnotherapy is an amazing way to support IVF, because if it's unexplained infertility, the problem is always stuck in the mind. So you prepare the mind to take the treatment of the fertility in the most positive way. You remove all the challenges, all the trauma, what is there, all the fears, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. If you tell yourself that 10 times per day, it's not going to work.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Miss. So, Miss, for you, what are the causes of mental illness?
The causes of mental illness are, as I said, since we don't analyze, it can be anything. If I may speak frankly, mental illness can be a chemical imbalance in the brain. This is where the chemical medication comes in. It can be also genetically inherited, but it can also be such a deep trauma that something snaps on the mind and the person just decides, I'm going to go this way. And this is why hypnosis can help so much, because as long as the person wants to heal, we can help. For example, let me take narcissism. Narcissism is on the rise. Narcissism is a way of behavior that shows lack of empathy, that shows lack of concern to other people, is very self-centered, and it can have many different shades. I mean, it's not like you can say, oh, this is a narcissist. We don't call it that. We call it, it's a tendency. We say it is, he is on the, or she is on the narcissism disorder spectrum. It's a spectrum. Yeah, it's a spectrum, because no person is exactly the same like the other. Then we need to ask ourselves, why did the person decide to not care about others anymore? I make it very simple, because this is much more complex. Why? What happened? We always find a childhood trauma. So as long as the person is willing to heal, we can heal the childhood trauma. The problem, for example, with the narcissistic personality disorder, that's the right word, is, for example, that the person will not want to change, because the person says, I'm okay as I am. Then we cannot do anything, but also then they will not go to a doctor, they will not take any chemical, they will not do any treatment whatsoever. So then nobody can help, because it is the person's free will. Nobody can interfere with the free will, right? So the thing is, for example, a narcissistic person, like somebody who is on the narcissistic personality disorder spectrum, might not want to have help. Then nobody can help. So the causes of mental illnesses can be anywhere, as I said, from a chemical to trauma, perceived trauma in childhood, anything that goes into the subconscious mind, or genetically disposed. Like, for example, I personally, because I am not a mental health professional in the medical field, I would not say somebody on the spectrum like autism is a mental disorder, but in a way it is, because the brain functions differently. And you know, and that's
so
it.
Miss, you made a successful story. We want to know, what is the meaning of success for you?
The meaning of success is that I can spread happiness in the world. For me, my heart is happy when I see that I can help the person, the client in front of me, to rid themselves of the problem that tortured them, because it is really torture to wake up at night and have anxiety attacks, panic attacks. It is torture. You cannot function. You might lose your job because you're not sleeping, you're underperforming. So it is, for me, the biggest happiness in my life is to help people. And also I'm working with animals, but that's a complete other story. So this is my biggest happiness. And because of this, actually, when you are so fulfilled, you do it from the heart. My biggest success also, to have my clients, because I'm very bad in marketing. Oh my God, I really need to learn marketing, but it's mouth-to-mouth propaganda. So this is how I got my clients, and this I was successful. But this works because you give your heart. When you give your heart, people always recognize that.
Yes. Miss, so as we know that a lot of people from audience, they are a new generation, and they see from your story something special inspired them. So what is your advice to the new generation?
So my advice would be, follow your dreams. Follow your dreams, don't ever give up, and don't care about what other people say. For example, if you wanted to do one thing because this is your thing that you always wanted to do, most likely you also have the talent there. So it always goes hand in hand, because it comes from inside. It's your soul's mission. It's from the heart. Anything that comes from the heart, this is what you will do, and you follow your dream. Yes. And that's it.
Yes, Miss, as we know that the UAE for sure has contributed to your successful story. So what is your appreciation message you would like to convey through our episode to the UAE and its rulers?
So first, I would like to say we really do live in a blessed country. Everybody who lives in the UAE can consider themselves very, very lucky compared to other places in the world. And in the context, I really would love to thank Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, and Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, and all the other rulers of UAE to give us the opportunity to live here and make a good living. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss. We are so pleased talking with you today. Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, dear audience, this is the end of our episode. See you next week. Goodbye.